Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking cry. My camera died and now I have to resort to my phone for this video. Hi guys, I've been away for a little while. I thought I would come back because I found out someone on YouTube has eczema and I have advice to offer. So, long story short, I've been out for a year. I got tired of talking about my eczema and having to deal with it publicly because it was tiresome and it was taxing, and I was ready to leave that part of my life behind me. And the second part of it was I don't study or teach any of this stuff, so I don't feel like I'm an authority. This is purely my experience for a disease or ailment that is wildly different from person to person. The only thing we share in common is inflamed skin and itchy skin. Causes, remedies, cures, whatever you want to call it, kind of varies from person to person, and the efficacy as well. Regardless, I wanted to talk to Joanna because her story is so similar to mine that I feel like I do have something to offer. I want to help. I'm not just going to sit here silently when I can see I could potentially put someone on some good advice. That being said, huge disclaimer, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But I think this advice is just that. It could be helpful. So 3 parts to this. I'll make it as interesting as possible, but I'll be very honest, at the end of the day, this is a painstaking, slow, and frustrating and difficult thing. So I don't think this video will fix anything permanently, but it'll help you get on the right track. 3 things. First of all, I still have eczema. I still deal with it, right? Kinda, sorta, yeah. Oh, there you go. It clears up. When it clears up significantly well. And then there are times in my life when I'm faced with stress or poor diet that naturally it comes back. But I've kind of gotten into the habit of learning what ticks off my eczema, how to take care of myself when things are not going well, and how to manage expectations. So 3 things to help you, Joanna, and anybody else in a similar situation. If you guys don't know who she is, she's a fellow YouTuber. She's about 20 years old. She started having eczema early in life, about 10, 15 years ago, like I did. And then about 6 months ago, it got significantly worse for her. Steroid creams weren't working. Dermatologist was being an a-hole. And it impacted her personal life so much so that she dropped out of university. She's been having trouble sleeping and trouble coping. Sound familiar? Fucking eczema, man. So I thought, oh my god, this is so similar to my story. I could share. And my 3 pieces of advice are: number 1, it's a personal note to yourself. Second one is day-to-day hygiene and moisturization stuff. And the third one are long-term practices that can keep you from feeling totally hopeless and doomed, and potentially gain this under control and manage it when it's really bad. So I think I hit all the bullet points. The first part, which is the most immediate thing, she was very apologetic to her audience. Sorry for being absent. Sorry for looking the way that I do. And sorry if I'm disgusting and stuff like that. I've had that narrative before. And it's really hard to watch, especially when it's something that is not in our control whatsoever. So it's especially heartbreaking when someone has to apologize on something's behalf that they have no control over. Eczema is crappy enough. There's no room for letting anyone making you feel crappy about it. No way around that. Anybody who impacts you negatively, fucking cut them out. They are not going to be helpful in the healing process. As for being forgiving to yourself, that just takes practice and self-love to come to terms with that. You don't deserve this. This wasn't your doing. This is happening. And how to sit with yourself in those times, and to be understanding that, you're hurting, and I'm here for you, and I'm trying my best to help yourself. That makes sense. Your own personal dialogue. So Part 2, this is what you can do now to help yourself. So hygiene and moisturization. I take a shower every morning or every other morning, and I take a bath every single evening, especially when the eczema is doing poorly, mostly because it helps soften the skin, and then it allows you to moisturize better. So before I shower or bathe, dry brush that bitch. You're going to want to get a synthetic one that doesn't have the animal hair because it's softer and it's less coarse. But essentially, I just go over my whole body, and especially dry, flaky areas. It helps you just take off that dead skin without scratching, but you get the benefits of taking off the skin, feeling a little relief, and also stimulating the blood around that area. So super, super item. It's like $15. After showering, no steroid creams, no fancy shit. Neutral oil, something like olive oil, grapeseed oil. That's what I use. I get a big bottle for like $10. And when your skin is still soft out of coming from the shower or the bath, just do your whole body up. And what's wonderful about oil is that it actually penetrates the skin cells, so it actually hydrates the cell itself. It doesn't just sit on the surface. This is actually going to moisturize you. And then for hands and face, I hit it with some oatmeal lotion, eczema cream, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty neutral. I haven't created any resistance or tolerance to these two because they're so innate products. They don't cause any reactions. Last piece for eyes and lips, Dr. Bronner's lip balm. I don't recommend the peppermint. It's spicy, but the unscented baby one or whatever is really good. Those are the only 3 products I ever get. Last thing I have that'll help you tackle this in a meaningful way long term: diet and therapy. Of course, exercise, but diet and therapy are going to be your biggest saviors. It was for me, at least. Diet mostly because you're providing yourself the nutrients and the A nutrients that are going to help you heal your skin physically. It's going to do the hard work that the body needs. So I cut out junk foods, basically fried foods, animal products, dairy, alcohol, and if you smoke or do any of that, I would say cut that out. Same thing with medications. I don't do aspirin. I try to stay away from antibiotics and steroids and stuff like that. But my diet, and a lot of the people that have had success with healing their skin eat stuff like whole foods, plant-based diet. So fruits, vegetables, grains, beans, potatoes, and then nuts, seeds, and avocados. I have a ton of recipe, food-related videos. Feel free to fucking dive headfirst into that. I'm not going to go into it. But basically, a healthy plant-based diet. And the last part, just to wrap up this long-ass video, is therapy. So I've had good success with just focusing on diet and exercise to help heal my skin. But when diet and exercise can only do so much for your mental health and physical health, it does come back down to all the burdens we carry from childhood, from early experiences, latency. None of that has disappeared. All of those feelings, experiences, and memories are buried deep in our body, and our body remembers that. It comes out in anxiety, depression, migraines, headaches, insomnia, skin issues, and in extreme cases, your heart disease and tumors and things like that. Tons of books on it. Not going to go into it. But what talk therapy and counseling, and specifically psychoanalysis, has to offer is an outlet for you to purge those feelings. Basically, it's the healthy diet of your mind. And it allows you to break down what is good in life, what is no good, setting boundaries, learning about your feelings, learning about yourself, learning where things go wrong, and why those things are not good. It basically allows you to formulate a deeper connection with yourself and break down those really, how do I fucking say it? The talk therapy offers you an outlet to deal with those internal psychological issues. It's just another avenue to help symptoms and issues. And I have found it has helped me fall asleep at night, which in turn has helped me reduce my anxiety, which in turn has reduced my stress, which ultimately has reduced my eczema flare-ups, the so-called angry skin. So I think that the talk therapy has a knock-on effect. It's like a domino effect, that it starts to take care of the more pressing issues, and then it comes back down to the physical symptoms that we exhibit. So I hope this all helps. This is something you're going to live with and manage your whole life, but what we can hope for is to be forgiving to ourselves, to give ourselves a fighting chance for the healthiest skin and the healthiest outlook on this. So I hope this helps. I know this shit dragged on for a little long, but it was so much content, and I hope this helps you guys. So ask your questions. I'm happy to answer, but I don't have specifics. I just have general, pointing you in directions. So peace.